Hey guys, today I'll be doing another squishy makeover.
Squishy makeover.
Squishy Makeover.
As you guys know, all of my squishy makeovers are inspired by the squishy queen, Moriah Elizabeth. It's actually been some time since I've done one of these, but you guys have been asking to see some more cute little squishies turned to the
Dark Side.
so I'm back at it again. I hope you find this video to your liking in its
Own strange way.
So like 2 videos ago, I chopped off Pinkie Pie's nose. I want to say it was an accident, but there are no accidents. I'll admit, I did it on purpose.
You caught me.
Personally, I think it was a good look. Nonetheless, a couple of you were understandably upset about that. I'm sorry. I didn't even need to chop off the nose, I just kinda did it for fun. So in memory of Pinkie Pie, I won't be chopping anyone's face off today. The torture is actually my favorite, it's kind of the best part. I like this noise. But fine.
Fine.
No violence today.
Just a happy little squishy makeover. Anyways, I've been overthinking a lot lately. I tend to do that quite often, and I've come to the conclusion that there's just too many people and not enough voodoo dolls in this world. You know, the usual shower thoughts.
So,
I think it's time we change that. So this is what I'm working with today. Obviously, he's a little too cute for comfort right now. There, don't cry, little one. I don't like him one bit.
so this looks like a job for me.
I'll be turning this little roly-poly into a voodoo doll. Bear. A voodoo bear. Are voodoo dolls always bears? Anyways, like I was saying, I'm turning him into a voodoo bear. That way I can just whack my mortal enemies whenever I want and still maintain a safe distance. I don't really have any enemies, I guess. There's just this one person and I hate when he breathes. I'm sure none of you could understand my misery. First things first, we'll start off with a healthy dose of
Pain.
I have to roughen up this little chunky fellow before we get started. Sanding him down helps create little tiny cute tears which will help the paint stick better. Wouldn't want Mr. Panda's cute little face coming back to haunt us.
I'd rather die.
By the way, if you're new here and you still have your nose, feel free to sell your soul to me by subscribing to my channel. Make sure you hit that bell icon and select all so you don't lose me on the internet or miss any videos. I post new videos
Every Friday.
Let's see. Where were we? Oh yes, I've just finished tearing off
All his flesh.
Now I have to get the paint ready. I mixed some light blue, lime green, and white together, and I ended up with this. It's like a turquoise color that I'm just gonna drown him in. He's not quite like the voodoo dolls I've painted before. He's kinda more...
How do I say this nicely?
Blubbers.
He's looking a little blubbery.
Excuse me?
No, wait, pandas don't have blubber. Whales have blubber.
It's a whale.
No. He's got, whatchamacallit.
Jelly rolls.
Excuse me?
Several jelly rolls. I like it. Makes him kinda different.
Thick.
He's his own person. In fact, he kinda looks like an egg.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
He'd look cute as an egg, actually. Nah, I've already started painting. Plus, I've made up my mind. He's gonna be a Voodoo Bear doll thing. He's not looking like anything at all.
He's a nobody.
But he will in a second once I give him some features. So now I'm going to move on to painting the details. I'm thinking about doing like half white and half black. Yin-yang type stuff. So I painted a black ear, a black arm, and a little black foot. Eye contact's a good thing. The more eye contact, the better, so I wanted to make sure to give him big, round, black eyes to make him look extra friendly and approachable. I painted a little button on his belly. I wanted to make him look really beat up. Someone really let this voodoo bear have it. And then he was stitched back together. That's kind of the aesthetic I was going for. hence the stitches on top of his head. And while I'm at it, I'm just gonna stitch his mouth shut. He's a quiet guy. He doesn't have the gift of gab. After that, I went in with the white paint to complete him. I also ended up giving him an X on one of his eyes and his belly button, and of course some highlights. Last minute, I decided to add some hair. I didn't want to just leave him bald. I wanted him to have a little puff on top, something for me to swing him around with, and then I grabbed the hot glue gun.
That's illegal.
How could I commit such a horror? Yes, I used hot glue. It's only a little tiny part on top. I didn't feel like it interfered with the squish at all, so it's
cool.
I hot glued the yarn on top. It was a tiny bit long at first, so I ended up giving him a little trim, and now it's sticking up. Kinda like baby hair. He's looking a little, dare I say, borderline cute, but still in a I'll melt your Neopet in the oven kinda way. Compared to my other squishies, this is a pretty simple design. The original panda was pretty basic, probably the most basic thing I've ever seen, so I kinda kept the voodoo doll basic too. Figured I'd let him be true to himself. Not everybody's gotta be the center of attention, plus he didn't want to upstage the bride. A Voodoo Bear bride?
OMG, am I getting married?
No.
A human.
Hello, human.
Oh, that looks...
Unhealthy.
Say my name in the mirror 3 times. Do it!
Now she's not the bride yet. She's still gotta get dressed. Obviously, she wouldn't wear rainbow to her wedding. Right now, she's looking pretty creepy, but not nearly as creepy as I'd like her to.
Pretty unremarkable.
So I'll be turning her into something that's inspired by Tim Burton's Corpse Bride, or at least my artistic interpretation of her. So the madness continues. And just like Panda, I'll start off by giving her a rough sanding. After all, beauty has a price. Alright, now she's ready. So since she's gonna be a bride, I decided she's going to be wearing a lot of white. I could have just painted the dress white, but I figured I might as well paint the whole thing white as a base coat. Painting a white base coat is actually really helpful. It ends up saving you a lot of time because then you don't have to layer as many coats of the actual color you want. Normally, I like to make my life as difficult as possible, and I put 10 quadrillion coats of color instead of just starting off with the white base coat. But this time I actually coated it in white first, and yeah, I think it was a good idea. Before I get started on the colors, I'm just going to add some little dots of puffy paint here just to act as like little flowers on her headband. The Corpse Bride's skin is a pale blue color, so that's what I'm going to be painting her face and arms with. It kind of looked like she was wearing some sort of crazy rainbow turtleneck thing, so I decided to bring her neckline down by painting some more blue on there.
Paint can be magical like that.
The bride and the Voodoo Bear are not related. Obviously, they're completely different species, but I still wanted the squishies to be cohesive somehow, so I'm working with a lot of blues today. They're not family, but they still kinda stick together.
You don't get to choose your friends.
For the hair, I went with a darker blue.
Just a quick dye job.
This is starting to look a lot like a Smurf. Obviously, that's not intentional. Smurfs were never part of the menu. Hopefully with some details, she'll start looking a little bit more like the Corpse Bride. I honestly think it's the hair color that's making her look like a Smurf. It's a pretty bright blue instead of the dead-looking blue the Corpse Bride has. That's my fault. Whatever. It adds character. And to make it more obvious that she's a bride, I'm going to give her a veil. I painted this tiny veil and then went around the edges with puffy paint to add some dimension to it. I don't know if this is how a veil looks or if mine is too short. I've never really seen a veil
Veil?
before, but I think that's how it's supposed to be. So far, it wasn't looking so bad in my opinion. I thought once I added the face, it would all come together and, you know,
Be amazing and stuff.
but I was wrong. Very, very wrong. Maybe it's because the face shape is so different, or maybe it's just me. Whatever it was though, the face wasn't looking quite right. I did the whole dark makeup look. These aren't supposed to be dark circles, by the way, she just wears some really dark makeup. She's good on sleep. In fact, she got a full 3.7 hours of sleep last night, so everything's good. She couldn't possibly ask for more, you know? There's just something so off about her. But at this point, I've quite mastered the it is what it is attitude. After that, I went through and painted all the flowers, some red and some black. I don't know if anyone can tell that they're flowers, so I even went back in with some puffy paint and added some white flowers. Do they look like flowers now?
No, not really.
It kinda looks like a big giant ladybug. Alright, now time for the wedding.
Where's the groom?
Corpse husband's a little caught up at the moment playing Among Us. Wedding's been called off. Sorry guys. She's decided she's just gonna be single forever.
Like you have a choice.
Click on the top left if you want to see more Squishy Makeover videos. Oh no, he's right behind you! Hurry! Hurry up and click something!